What's up, guys? Welcome back to a brand new episode. I'm your host, Disco, and today we're going to be talking about the 2024 Senate elections, more specifically, Nebraska. And why Nebraska? Well, things are a bit different now in the state of Nebraska. How so? Well, according to a CNN article, Dan Osborne's unorthodox campaign challenges GOP stronghold in Nebraska's U.S. Senate election. Okay, that sounds all fun, but what does it really mean? I'm trying to get that up going and trying to right now, but yeah. Let's do this. This is what I mean. So this is Deb Fisher, the incumbent. She won her election back in 2012. Pretty straightforward. She won it by about 15 points. I can't get an accurate reading, but I can do this. She won her election back in 2012 when, actually, this election, Nelson, the Democrat incumbent, decided to retire, and she decided to get in, and she won by 15 points. She then ran for a second term and won by 19 points. She's running for a third term. And here's the issue here. She's won. This is a solid Republican state. But there's no Democrat, so automatically it's more competitive. Now, Dan Osborne is the independent. Now, is a fairly straightforward person. He's in the middle on pretty much every single issue. He is as independent as you can get. When polling first started, it showed him in the lead by about 2 points. Now, bear in mind, this was back in 2023, and then as time went on, and when Joe Biden was still on the ballot, things were looking okay for Deb Fisher. Maybe a little bit of a tight race. Needed some money. But then as time went on, another poll from WebWave Strategy Group, or an Impact Research, showed that it was a tie between Fisher and Osborne. Later polling showed, okay, a 2-point lead, a 1-point lead, a 1-point lead for Fisher. That's not looking good, and considering that this is a solidly Republican state. Then everything started to flip. Osborne started to win by 1 point, 5 points, 2 points, 3 points. And then Fisher overtook Osborne by about 6 points, somehow in the same polling time frame. But then it changed. Osborne was in the lead by 6 points, and it is worth noting that he crossed the 50% threshold. But what does that mean in general? Well, it means that Nebraska is having a very competitive race. And what can that mean for the Senate? Well, let's put in everybody who is the incumbent party. And I know that's going to be a bit weird right now because obviously West Virginia really doesn't matter for them because we know the Republican candidate is going to win and then probably die and then probably go for another special election. We all know that. So it's like we all know West Virginia is going to go, and we all know Montana is going to go Republican. But what would happen? Ow. Sorry. Ow. Well, what if this scenario happened? What would this happen? But then Nebraska went independent. That's a 49-51. But what if that he hasn't stated who he would caucus with, but just imagine that scenario happening. Now, obviously, being in the majority, Republicans would have the vote. Republicans would have the votes most of the time. But still, they would have an impact. It would be a serious issue because they would need all of their senators. And even if they win the state of Ohio, they're still going to need all 51 senators because they're going to be struggling. And it is a slim majority. The Democrats have been struggling with 51, and yeah, there are some, well, keep in mind, they're also very divided on stuff. But keep in mind, there's a few Republicans like Lisa Murkowski and Susan Collins that have generally voted against the Republicans a couple of times. So, with that said, if Osborne wins in Nebraska, that changes up the Senate in a major way. No matter who is in power, no matter if Kamala Harris wins her first term in the Oval Office, or Donald Trump reclaims his Oval Office for a second non-consecutive term. But it is worth mentioning because this race was not expected. Was not expected to be a competitive race. Remember, Osborne is an outsider. He's new to politics. Yep, here it is. He does not plan to caucus with either Republicans or Democrats when he arrives to the Senate, unlike other independent senators. But caucusing is how senators often are granted their committee assignments. With control of the chamber coming down to a handful of tight races, having a wild card like Osborne involved could complicate things further. Exactly. Quote, there's a reality that exists, that I could be the 51st swing vote in the US Senate, and that certainly is going to give me the ability to operate more effectively in Congress, he told CNN. See, this is why. He is the make or break. If he wins, he will make or break the Senate. There is no doubt about it. There is absolutely no doubt about it. All it is a matter of time to see whether or not Fisher actually wins or loses. And only time will tell. Unfortunately, we do not know. Therefore, we just have to figure out. So thank you all so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. Hit that ding dong notification bell for all new videos, and I'll catch you all next time.